Hey, welcome back to another episode of the OffRangers podcast. It is DJC Universe here with the rest of the crew, including the boy McAllister, Doombot TV, Soup for Thought, and Beyond Meeting. Now, last week we talked a lot about comic books. This week we're going to start off with some games. And speaking of games, we're going to talk about soundtracks, all right? We've discussed ahead of time before that soundtracks can make or break a show, a game, or an event. So I want to go around the room, guys. What is the best soundtrack to a video game? Soup, let's start for you.
The best soundtrack for me is without question Jet Set Radio Future. I know a lot of people probably know what that game is. It came with the original Xbox I had back when I was a kid. It was one of those free games. But let me tell you, the soundtrack on this game was amazing. It was hate to say it was a rollerblading game where you would go around spraying graffiti on different walls and racing and stuff like that. Sounds real stupid. So let me tell you how good the soundtrack had to be for me to keep playing this game as much as I did. It was rap music, it was pop, it was rock, it was funky, it was country music. It was so much variety in this damn game that it made just skating around in short shorts feel so fun. I think it's important that you have all this variety, but most importantly that the game matches, like the songs matches the game. Like, because the game was so wacky, it would make sense that you would go to like this urban area, and then it was kind of racing. I think about it. It was rap music playing, and you would go into like a different area was like more open area. It'd be like a sort of like a country funk type of vibe to it. It made sense in the arena. What you don't want to happen is like if it doesn't match the vibe. Imagine you're playing Outlast and then you're getting ready to go around a corner and to sneak past someone and you hear party rockers in the house tonight. I don't want to say hear that. It's gonna throw you completely out. That's why it's so important for it to match the vibe. That's why I gotta say Jet Set Radio Future. It's an amazing game, super fun. It made roller skating fun because of the amazing soundtrack. I'll listen to it today.
I'm glad you didn't say it made roller skating cool, because I want you to know it would never be cool.
Oh no, never. Never. I played with a door locked while I was watching porn.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
That's a lot.
Well, something I'm not trying to hide is Doombot, so please tell me, who's yours?
Parents hit me when I was younger. So my top vote for best soundtrack ever is Final Fantasy VII Remake. My favorite game of 2020. I think that game knocks it out the park completely with the soundtrack. They have some of the best boss themes you will ever hear, and there's a lot of bosses in that game. A lot, too many. But I think that to have a good soundtrack, you have to capture the mood completely. And when you just have a gorgeous anime girl like Tifa crying in your arms, you just want to hear something soft, and that's exactly what Final Fantasy does for you. All right, so we'll talk about Queen Tifa another day. But Final Fantasy VII, I'm telling you, man, knocks out the park with just their epic ass themes that get you in the mood and those soft moments that make you cry a little bit.
Believe it or not, she is literally my screensaver on the PlayStation right now. I don't have it on.
She's too perfect. She should.
I don't blame you.
She's so sweet. She's so sweet. Also sweet. Hey, Beyond, I ain't talked to you all week, buddy. How about you start? Tell me something.
So for me, I would have to go with League of Legends for the best soundtrack. Chill, man. I would have to go with the best soundtrack. It might not be like in terms of how you guys feel when you listen to play a video game and you have that soundtrack. For that, I'll kind of lean towards, for me, for Destiny. But for overall best soundtrack to me, I feel like it's League of Legends. They always have the best cinematic videos when you watch them, and it plays some of their music from their soundtracks. And one of my favorites is Pearson Light. If you want to listen to that, go ahead. And I actually still listen to their music on their soundtracks as I work out, day-to-day life. Got in different playlists depending upon the mood. And they always have those the soundtrack, the songs that make you want to kind of like, oh yeah, I'm ready to go to battle. And I think that also that's one of the things you have to look at is does it bring emotion to you? Does it elicit that emotion for you while you're listening to it? And I think that's what gamers really want, is that connection with the songs.
Oh yeah, you just talked about connections of songs. That's something I definitely feel for my series. Mine, believe it or not, is actually probably going to be 2K18. However, I want to give a special shout out to stop. Listen, I want to give a special shout out to Madden 08 because that soundtrack also went hard. And the reason is I'm a guy I like rap. However, those two are like my favorite games. When I play the games, the thing that's very important to me is that the vibe needs to match the song. I think Soup, you said that earlier. And what those games do better than anything is they give you the vibe of you're actually going to be at an NBA game, and they always have a great variety. Like I really don't even like rock, but on 2K18 they have a song by the Scorpions called "The Zoo," which I freaking fell in love with. And like I said, I do not like rock at all. Whenever that song comes on, I automatically get lit off the game. Especially just because the way 2K's like soundtrack works, it really taps into popular culture to where like that's kind of what the NBA is. Basically, it is popular culture. So the entire vibe for me, it just goes over. I really don't have any other disrespect for minigaming, like for minigaming soundtracks. Like there's tons of favorite ones. I like gaming music overall, but for me, like I noticed that I bob my head more to 2K when I'm listening to it or just going through, or even when I'm just like simulating and I'm not actually in like the game itself. I catch myself having like a good time just bobbing my head just to Nas's like whenever Nas is playing. So I know.
Like, I have a question for everybody. Do y'all think that original soundtrack songs, you gravitate more towards those, or do you gravitate more towards like copyrighted licensed music that plays in video games when you hear it?
For me,
go ahead, Beyond. Go ahead, Beyond.
For me, I feel like it has to be like the original soundtrack songs for me, more so than licensed songs, because it's like they made that song specifically for that video game instead of them pulling songs from, oh yeah, this is hot, this is popular, let's throw that in there, everybody's gonna like it, yeah, Cardi B, haha, like it's just, it feels better when it's the original soundtrack dedicated to that video game.
For me, I guess I obviously for my choice, I lean more towards like the copyrighted music, and usually like I will usually like one or two songs or like original songs. But that's usually it. Like I usually don't like the entire soundtrack. And I think that's the benefit sometimes of getting copyright music is you can literally just, instead of having to create something and then hoping people like it, you can already get what you know people like and then just move on from there. And that's why I think I lean to 2K. But I mean, like,
I see what you're saying. Keep going.
Yeah. But like, I mean, it depends because obviously for the game that 2K is, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But if I was playing like talking, I think a little bit later, someone here's gonna talk about God of War. If I was playing God of War, and fucking Cardi B was playing on the background, I'd be pretty upset. I'd be a little upset if I like it like that was going on as I'm trying to kill somebody. So that's just the thing. Like I
like it like that.
I was about to say.
No, I understand what you're saying. I probably definitely agree with that. But I probably gravitate more towards what Beyond kind of side with him a little bit. Like I like copyrighted music in games, like Call of Duty, this thing they do now, where they put licensed music in their game. And it's funny. It's like drive a snowmobile and you just hear like a popular song going off. It's hilarious. But I like original soundtracks more just because the impact they have. Like Ghost of Tsushima had also amazing soundtrack.
Man.
That they only have 3 songs. I feel like they already had only 3 songs, but they would just mix them and like play them differently, so it sounded like different songs, but really the same song.
Right.
But it still worked. And like another thing about Final Fantasy VII is they have probably like the best original video game song of all time, which is One Wing Angel, which is like Sephiroth's main theme. And it feels so strong. Like when you hear it, you're just like, oh shit, it's just going off, just because that's how impactful it is. But I think that I just think that original soundtrack just carry the original tone of the game better than a generic rap song. But I do like licensed music in the game just because it's recognizable and it's pretty good to hear.
And if you think about it, like the original soundtrack songs, they start playing them in orchestras now. So you gotta think about like those songs become so powerful to people that they have classical musical orchestras actually playing that for people and doing performances on video game songs.
I understand. I also just want to say, I think for me, it definitely is. I mainly play sports games. That's like my genre. So, and I think it also depends on what your genre is. So maybe if you're more into like a fantasy game, I imagine you're like, well, of course I wouldn't want licensed music in my game. It doesn't make sense. But if you're more into like they call them real world simulations, but like games like that, like the EA puts out sports games. Well, it makes more sense, I think it all depends. But we're gonna finish up this talk real quick. McAllister account. We missed you the last couple of weeks. You were out being a big adult and out enjoying the world, while the rest of us were at home finishing up episode 35 of whatever anime we were watching. So tell us, what's your opinion on this?
All right. So I guess you guys were talking a little bit. Initially, my first thought was Skyrim. And you play that game. And it's not an overpowering soundtrack. Like, I mean, you can turn it up, I guess, and have them screaming in your ear. The as you're killing people. Like, if you want that, yeah, it's
Damn
cool.
right.
But I guess those types of games where you kind of need to listen to your surroundings, know what's going on. I like the music to just kind of be a background noise, if that makes sense. And
Mhm.
you hear it when you're playing, when you kind of just ignore it. But then when you're just chilling, like you have it on the TV when you're walking around, that's when you're like, oh, that music's actually pretty good. But then you guys were talking, and I was like, dang, SSX Tricky.
Oh man,
Oh, damn.
That's a good one.
That soundtrack was fire as hell. But that's one of the
Masterpiece.
ones that, like, you're listening to that music as you're going down the hill, and you're like, yes, like pumping you up. Like, that is the main reason you're flying down the hill right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So kind of like what you said, DJC, I think it kind of depends on the game type, like what type of music it is and how that music should go. So this definitely could just keep going back and forth, and everyone will have their own opinions. It's how you like to play the games, but that's my personal preference. So
Fair enough. I'm actually shocked that nobody said. I know people didn't like the game, but I'm shocked nobody said Cyberpunk because when it came out, I thought people really liked the soundtrack.
No. No.
Was it
stop.
not good?
I don't want. Nope. That whole game. No, I can't. I can't listen to that
I didn't
banger ass
play it long
soundtrack
enough.
as I glitched along in my car and then flew off into the fucking sky because shit was supposed to do it right now. I can't.
Okay.
I
I
didn't
mean,
play
bro,
it long
my
enough to
car
listen to
totally
it.
disappeared one time. The
right,
back end was the front end. I was like, yo, what the fuck?
I couldn't play it long enough to even know what a damn song that game was.
Yeah, I'm right there.
It felt like dubstep, just the way I was glitching back and forth.
Oh my gosh.
Did you even make it to the club?
I did
I
not.
got to
The
the point
Moxies?
where I got to where I got the keys from that guy, the main guy with the ponytail, and then he handed me the keys, and my game just exploded. I never got past that part.
God damn.
Golly. Well, talking about annoying glitches in games.
Here's your new ride. Boom. Sorry.
Talking about annoying glitches in games. Let's move on to annoying characters in comics, games, and or anime. So, guys, we're going to talk about who is the most annoying character in any type of in any of the genres that we usually talk about. I don't think we're going to debate, like, we can possibly debate overall if you guys want to. I think right now we're just going to do preference for us just because I imagine we're all going to pick people that effing suck, but we'll see how this goes.
We got the same person in mind. So like,
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Start off with Soup again.
All right, for me, I know he's not the most annoying character, but boy, in the course of this game, let me tell you, this little shit annoyed the hell out of me. I know I'm gonna get some disagreements here, but it's Atreus from God of War 2018. The whole time he's following me around like I'm not the fucking goat. Like I won't grab him by his head and launch him into the solar system. Does he know how many gods I have beat into a pulp? But no, every time I start a fight, I gotta run over here to go save him. All right, let me go focus on. Nope, Atreus needs save. Okay. Oh, now you need help getting up. Every 20 seconds, it's Dad. Where are we going? Dad, help me get up this ledge. Dad, help! I'm getting stabbed. Stand on your own 2 fucking feet. I can't stand this child. I'm so glad he called him boy for 95% of the name. 95% of the game. He did not deserve a name. I wish he would have died. I did not respect him until like the later 75% of the game. After that, he's fine. But up until that point, boy, I wanted him to fall off a cliff.
Sweet Jesus. Okay. All right.
I feel very strong about him. Sorry.
Okay. Soup Peach Joker.
Damn.
Okay, let's just remember that. All right. That was passionate right there. Doombot, what about you?
I don't know if I can top that passion.
Oh,
But
so
I
good.
start with the honorable mention. If you play League of
Damn.
Legends, you know who Teemo is.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's an invisible squirrel that poisons the almighty hell out of you and gives you AIDS, and you can't do nothing about it because he turns invisible. So, fuck him and everything he stands for. But my real vote is for Queen Mine or Princess Mine from Rising Shield Hero.
Fuck her.
They made me hate her so much in episode 1 that I want to turn the show off immediately.
Wow.
She starts by claiming the main hero raped her. And everybody's like, oh, he did? No, he would do that. I totally see it. She's right. We should totally believe her. And for the entirety of season 1, she just is a complete and utter obstacle in everything he does. Everywhere they go, she spreads the rumor he's a rapist. Everyone believes her for some strange reason. she's she's such a groupie. It's pain in the ass. She kisses up to other heroes. They believe her all the time. She's trying to kill her sister. It's basically that one girl at the party who it just ruins everybody's fun. She's God, I don't even know how to
I
describe
don't know.
her.
I feel like she might be a little more extreme than that.
Listen, I don't even know how to describe her. She's bad. Just watch the show. You want to believe how bad she is. For the entire season 1, she doesn't get her comeuppance until like I think right at the end of it, like the last episode. They do her dirty. They do her for hair, and they change her name to bitch and whore. So I appreciate that, but
Praise God.
I go by it too. They stick to it.
She sounds like redo of a healer level of scumbag. And not everyone here knows what that is. That's a good thing. But still, it sounds like she's up there.
Just imagine you go to like another world. Nobody wants to be your friend. She's like, I'll be your friend because I like you. You buy her like $200 worth of shit, and then the next day she's like, yeah, he raped the fuck out of me.
Oh my goodness. Oh sweet Jesus. That's bad. That's bad. All right, I'll step up to the plate right now. First, I do want to give a special shout out. When I was talking about 2K, I reminded myself about B Fresh, who was the most annoying character in that game series, added nothing, and was just a walking product placement for fucking Reese's Puffs, which was so irritating every second. Her being like, I ate your Puffs, DJ. I'm like, bro, shut up. Just let me, I'm trying to go hoop right now. But my number one is Shin Wolford from The Wise Man's Grandchild. Sorry for the stutter there. Mainly because if there's one thing that annoys me is when like a character has all the potential to be just like really good and a really good character. They have a good backstory. They have a good power set. You've totally got me engaged, and then they ruin it. And in Wise Man's Grandchild, the main character, he's shipped off to another world. And in this other world, he gets these powers, and he's incredibly overpowered, which you're like, oh my God, that's cool. Hopefully he can have some good battles. Maybe make some allies and stuff like that, have a decent storyline and whatnot. I thought it was going to be a really solid, isekai anime. And instead, what I got was him, a 30-year-old man, now in the body of a 16-year-old, like making love faces for the entirety of the series with this other girl who clearly likes him, but they don't do anything. And it turned into a very, very, very bad romance anime very quickly. And the thing that really annoys me the most is I can handle if they're in love, I do like romance anime, but I can't handle when every like couple of seconds and they see the person they care for and they're just like, I can't speak like that. That just got on my nerves after a while because it's like they see each other all damn day. They hang out all the fucking time. And for some reason, every time he sees her, he's just like, and making those noises, which second note, if someone comes in the room and hears that, it's kind of hard to explain that, oh yeah, I'm watching this show about a 30-year-old that's in love with a 16-year-old. But still, I digress. It was one of the worst anime I saw from that year too, which adds into it because there really isn't many characters from the show that are actually redeeming. Most of them are all pretty like one note. And especially in his case, it's terrible because it's like his sole goal is just his sole goal basically becomes like impress her and get her. And her sole goal is just to be the standard, basic female like love interest that never does anything for herself, always holds the guy back and makes like a stupid ass speech about, wanting to be acknowledged. So screw that guy. There's tons of annoying characters, but for some reason I can't get him out of my head as annoyingness just because I had such high hopes for him. So the disappointment it ran rampant on my soul. But we're gonna move on. I want to hear from you, Beyond. Tell me.
For me, the most annoying character would be Luffy from One Piece. No, I'm just fucking with you.
I almost hit the end button on this. We almost ended the whole podcast.
For me, it would have to be Booster Gold from Justice League Unlimited.
What? Leave him alone.
I'm sorry. He just felt real pointless to me. The dude was just obsessed about himself. I'm like, yo, dude, just please be gone. I just didn't like his ass at all throughout that whole fucking series. I'm sorry, you might feel some other way, but like, I really didn't like his ass at all.
Whoa.
But we all can agree, Sakura is a pain in the ass.
But no, don't change the subject. He's just redeeming character. He's like a selfish asshole. He slowly tries to turn into a hero.
Can't all be perfect, Beyond. He's
I'm sorry.
The greatest hero no one's ever heard of. He's trying to prove himself, damn it.
The robot was more of a hero than his ass. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
That was some hot takes. Oh
jeez.
Oh sweet Jesus. Well, okay, so real quick. So Beyond, is that something you can't like? Do you not like redemption arcs for characters?
I mean, I do, but like he's just so annoying. Like he just felt pointless. Like all the other characters seem way more interesting to me than his ass. I'm sorry.
I can't. Okay, I understand. I understand that because I know for a lot of people, even myself, I will say this: there's certain characters I'm like, I don't care if they have redemption arc because they're such a shithead in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I know Soup for a fact. I know you're not gonna. You didn't bring up Endeavor, which I'm shocked about. I guess annoying and hated are different.
Very
But-
I
different.
love Endeavor.
Very different. But I know for a fact you can't get with Endeavor just because of. I'll let you speak on it. Why can't you get with Endeavor?
I don't like Endeavor because he is abusive. He is a monster. He has abused a child and a wife to the point where she was sent into a damn home and then everyone said, "Oh, he brought her flowers one time. Let's just make everything okay." No, I'm not staying for that shit. No.
But like, did you see his fight with like the Nomu in the other season though?
Say he knows he fucked up. He just wants to like you
Yeah.
know.
Did you see it?
Yeah, man.
I saw the fight. That's the equivalent of someone treating you like shit your entire life, but then you're like, he's kind of hot though, so it's fine. It's not.
I mean,
you
have you
can't.
not done that before?
Actually, yeah, valid point. You're right.
Yeah, all right then.
I feel like that's whenever like a rapper is like, I kill people. People are like, yeah, and then they get in trouble for killing people. People are like, free him. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
You mean like R. Kelly?
Yeah, exactly. Like R. Kelly. Like,
Mhm.
Oh my god.
like
If R. Kelly
Robert-
couldn't sing, he would have been rotting in prison years ago.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. But have you heard Remix to Ignition?
What he did is wrong, but honey, this music get me going. Ooh.
There ain't nothing wrong
Inappropriate ass judge.
with a little. I'm sorry. I'm just imagining R. Kelly in court. The judge is like, wait a minute, is that R. Kelly? Oh, oh, suck it, now. I love you.
Sitting right there next to Bill Cosby.
All right, let's get back on track. Let's get back on track. So getting back on track, in and out the segment, best but certainly never last. McAllister account. Tell us what you think.
I think I'm gonna have to go with probably everyone's
Supposed to
all-time
go?
most annoying,
Oh.
Sakura.
Damn right.
I knew it.
It's just like what's not really annoying to some point. Just through the whole entire, I mean, just both Naruto and Shippuden, she's just help me! Oh my god, help me! And you're like, "Bro, what? Just shut up. Baby yourself."
Kill her.
Learn some goddamn ninjutsu, bitch.
That's
I mean,
that's really the only. You're just like, why?
Listen, I know we talk shit on Naruto for learning like 4 jutsus, but she literally just learned punch and then just gave up.
She's like,
Like,
I
I-
punch
Very
hard.
average.
Okay.
She's got the healing, you know.
No,
the
she
thing
can
in her.
heal people. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, you could come on, man. She's a healer. She's important.
I mean, like,
She couldn't even heal Neji.
Oh my god.
Oh, my
Real
goodness.
useless when that came
You
around.
catch a stick to the ass and you
They
see
all
how
were. They were all real useless when that happened. Everyone's just
Poor
like,
Neji.
oh.
and she heals the stick into him, so you just have to stick in him permanently.
I like how
Got a tree growing down his neck.
we're not going to go into this again.
My favorite Sakura moment is when the final battle when they're confronting Madara and she steps in between Naruto and Sasuke, was like, I'm just as strong as you guys, and runs up to Madara and gets immediately stabbed in the stomach. That's probably one of my favorite moments in the entire run of Naruto.
I remember I read that chapter, and then like I think I went to Twitter and it was trending. Everybody was like, "What is this dumb bitch doing?" And I remember just thinking to myself, I was like, "Bro, come on, like, come on." That's like me running up to LeBron and be like, "I'ma score on your ass." Like that's not gonna happen. She's like
You
the
just,
post.
you just have to believe in yourself. That's all. it
Nah,
is.
screw that.
It's not
Nah.
a damn anime.
I don't think anything will ever top the dumb moment of what was that Captain's or not, that Shinobi's name, the girl with the red eyes,
So,
Kurenai.
Kurenai Sensei trying to put Itachi on her Genjutsu. Nothing will ever top that in the
Oh
list
my
of dumb
God.
moments.
I forgot.
bad.
When you're
That
like,
was-
oh my god, it's Itachi of the Sharingan. Put him on her Genjutsu. How? Why? Why?
That's like
Why?
you know how bad it was? They pretty much wrote her out of the show after that too.
she deserved it.
That's literally the only battle I can remember her ever having, and that was it. And she was a Jonin, and I have no respect for her.
The
All I know is-
Hokage sat her down and was like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck are you thinking? Give me your headband. Give me your fucking headband."
Oh my god, they pretty much
Fire
just
on the
banished her
spot.
to get pregnant, and literally were just like, just make some kids that are smart or something. Good lord,
God.
what are you doing? insane. Oh my god, that's easily one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. And speaking of that, then let's run with that. What's wrong with that? What are some of the dumbest moments we've all seen in anime? Soup, let's go with you.
All right, for me, I'm gonna say spoiler warning for the newest episodes of Promise Neverland. If you're not watching them, please skip forward about 30 seconds. I'll be done. I'll make it short for you guys. The decision of Emma and Ray to not kill the demons after meeting one good one. They are being treated like cattle. They are filet mignon. They have been attacked. Their friends and family have been murdered. But they meet one that's kind of cool. You're like, I guess they don't all gotta die. No, these motherfuckers need to go. I am not with it. I'm not for it. They're acting like they're treating it like, yeah, this is the right thing to do. Sweetie, it's not. I'm sorry. I'm not with it. I'm not with it.
Quick
It's
question.
stupid.
Quick question. Are they referring to that one? Because I'm not all the way caught up, but I'm caught up fairly enough.
Apologize.
And no, you're fine. You're fine. Are they referring to that one demon that was like, I'll tried to help show them the way, and then was like, yeah, there'll be good food later in life. That one?
Yes, they're referring to those two.
So
yes,
they have
correct.
Okay. Because the girl was cool, but I remember seeing a guy, and I was like, damn, man, they really
Mhm.
like 0 for 50 right now on these demons. This isn't good.
It's not worth it. I think they're making a terrible decision. They had a character came up with a great plan, and they're saying, no. It's so fucking stupid. I'm not with it. Still gonna watch it, but boy, that made no sense.
Listen, man, as long as they don't start graphically killing off those kids, I'll be on for a
Boy,
ride.
I can't handle it.
They
They can't
draw
do that.
so
I can't
much
handle
will.
it.
They probably will.
They better not. All I need to do is see a rose pop out of their chest. That's all I can handle. I can't handle like Attack on Titan Munch On type nonsense. But moving on. Doombot, what about you? Tell us.
So I think I talked about Gun Gale Online last week, and my dumbest one I think I've ever seen is Pizza Huey not dying when she gets shot in the head in Gun Gale Online. If you're not familiar with that show, basically they're a video game where it's like real life video games, AR to the extreme, and you get shot, you usually die, your health bar just instantly depletes. They did that several times in the show where some poor unfortunate soul gets domed and that's it, he's dead and just phases into non-existence. And I mean, literally the main character, who she's kind of crazy, so she goes off, starts killing people, and some person in a bush, camping in a bush like the hoe he is, decides to like shoot her in the head, and they make a whole episode of her health bar slowly going down to zero, where they're carrying her ass into a house like, oh my god, don't die, no, we need you. Like, she got domed, she is dead. Do not it's not making any sense. Meanwhile, the person who shot her got domed in the head and died immediately. So I'm like, why is she slowly dying? This is not making any sense. So long story short, they somehow revive her, keep her from dying, and she comes and goes another killing spree. The biggest plot armor I think I've ever seen in a while. Minus Batman moments, but we're not talking about that right now. So that's my most annoying moment in anime.
Her plot armor must be 18 inches thick, because gosh damn.
Fuck that. That's invincible right there. That's main character. That's shonen main character plot armor right there.
100%.
That's insane. Oh my goodness. I'm about to say something. But first of all, I can't stand that anime when a character like gets supreme plot armor. This is an anime moment, but I have to mention it. And the final season of Game of Thrones, when Arya was inside King's Landing, when Daenerys was flying over and burned everything down, and she should have died like 50 fucking times and didn't. That pissed me off so much. And then when she got on that dumbass random white horse that was completely standing in the middle fine and not freaking out and rode off, I was so upset because that made no sense at all. Like, everyone around her was literally getting burned alive, but she came out slightly more attractive and just a little more dirty. And I was like, how does that make any sense? That was so dumb. Speaking of dumb, mine is honestly from one of the worst animes I've ever seen. It's called Divine Gate. So in the show, there is this divine gate, and if you get to the end of it, you get like one wish that has no like you know how in the beginning of Dragon Ball there were certain things that Shinron couldn't do.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of that. It's like there's nothing that you can't ask for. Like, you get one wish that will certainly happen. And these warriors, they go in to try to find the divine gate, but to get to the divine gate, you have to fight the gods. These god characters, and they're all super fucking strong for some reason. And obviously people die in the divine gate trying to get to the gods. And there's this really sad 4-episode stretch where characters are dying left and right, and you're like, oh my God, that person's going, that person's going. And at the end of the season, it's revealed that no one ever really dies in the Divine Gate. You just go back to the starting point, and it absolutely sucked all the emotion out of the show. Because I was like, okay, so why in God's name were you sad when this person died in the Divine Gate when you don't really actually die? It was stupid. And the way they revealed it, they just had like one character like, oh, come on, don't you know that none of us really die in there? Let's go back again next time.
Yeah.
And like that was their
So
way
they
of
knew?
trying.
So they were aware that at least some people were aware that you didn't die then.
So basically, for the entirety of the series, they were all actually aware that you don't really die in there. But for some weird reason, they reacted in there like people were actually dying. And when I tell you, I was like, so wait a minute, what's the point of this? Like, what? Who cares if you die? Like, I would go in there every day, like a video game, because it's pretty much like a restart point. Like, it's a checkpoint, basically. Like, who cares? You don't die for real. Like, nothing really happens to you. So it ruined the entire show for me. It was one of the dumbest things because they didn't need to do it. They could have easily just brought in other characters next year because they blew every ounce of like emotion that they actually had in the show. And like for all the viewers, like everyone always says that they're just like, I stopped caring because there's literally no stakes. So like, why do I care? Like, I'm not going to watch a battle anime. It turned into basically DBZ where, like, I know DBZ. Goku's going to win in the end. There's no stakes. Death doesn't matter. They're just going to bring you back with the Dragon Balls. So, completely pointless, stupid, dumb. If you're out there and you're a writer, please don't do that. Don't do that dumb shit where you're like, this person never really died anyway. Gotcha. Like, no, that's stupid. Just let people die and let them stay dead. All right? But I don't want you to die.
Damn.
No, because I hate that.
I understand that. You took a huge thing out the show. I think that's kind of like Sword Art Online too. You know, the first season when you die in the game, you die in real life.
Yes.
And all the other seasons, just like, no, you die, you just respawn. It takes out the emotional impact of someone dying. They're just
A whole lot.
people suicide bombing each other, and they don't really care. They're just going to respawn in the main town. So I understand.
I'm about to say, because like when I was watching Divine Gate, I was like, okay, so now you're just a bunch of people that have wishes, but like you really have no repercussions to get these wishes, and I don't feel that bad for you if you don't get them. Because it's not like, wow, we're dying for this. It's more or less like we're voluntarily doing this thing, which really has no like detriment to us. We just go in. If we lose, fuck it. We'll go back to what we do. If we win, new world.
Did they create a second season, or were they thinking about making a second?
Because it's really bad. It's not a good show. Like, because at that moment right there, like I thought it was halfway decent, and then that moment just, you just blew it up.
Was that at the end or in the middle of the season?
At the end, the very end. It's literally the last episode. They have this really good actually, 2 to 3 like episodes straight of like a final battle, which I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And all these characters are dying left and right. You're like, damn, wow. Look, but the main character makes it, so I'm like, okay, well that makes sense. I mean, they're obviously gonna bring him back next season. And I'm like, all right, because of all these deaths, he'll progress farther, get stronger, then eventually get to Divine Gate. And then all of a sudden they're like, no. They just pop up out the world. I'm like, hey. He's like, oh, you guys are alive? He's like, yeah. Didn't you know? No one can really die in the Divine Gate. And then it's like,
all right.
In credits. You see how stupid this is?
It sounds totally stupid, but I'm trying to see at the point, like, how would you feel if it was meant to be like that in just a one season? To fuck, basically, at the end, you get fucked over about how, like, oh, you got all this emotion building up. And then at the end, you find out nobody fucking dies, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So like that just being the main driving focus is like to get you to build up to this moment, and then leave you off on like a what the fuck moment.
If that was the overall goal of the season, I'd be like, that's just genius writing. I would say that's genius writing because you got what you wanted. You got me triggered. And I'd be like, damn, and then. But it would also have to be kind of like how One Punch Man is really like a spoof on the superhero genre. It would have to be like a spoof on those types of animes where like, and they just randomly came back at the end and like I could see it coming in the show, like in a comedy perspective, I'd be like, all right, that's absolutely hilarious. But it's just the fact that they took it dead serious and it was brought us like these mains. It's dangerous when you go in there. You got to be careful. You don't want to die. And then they die and it's like, I mean, we'll just try again tomorrow, which is night and day. It's night and day. Ruins it. But, you know, you asked me a question, so I'm going to ask you a question. That question is, what is your choice, man? What is it for you?
For me, it's definitely from God of High School.
Yep, the whole show.
Whatever you say about these Alex.
Whole anime, got you.
it's pretty much the whole anime, but like two of my like, yo, this is so dumb moments. The first one comes when Mira is able to use her hands as a fucking blade, but like she still ends up losing a fucking fight. But you got your hands that could have been a blade that you could have just fucking slashed the fuck out of Han, but like you couldn't do that. Like it's so stupid.
She got waxed off screen. That still pisses me off. In the same episode, they tried to make her look like a dog. She got her ass beat. Like she stole something that didn't make any sense. I'm sorry, keep going. I need to get that out.
And then my second moment about this anime that was just so stupid is towards the end. I don't even know if they continued after that because this is the moment I literally just dropped off from watching it completely. And I know Doombot stopped probably after the first 3 episodes, but it's the moment in which Jin becomes a fucking god, and it just like ruins the whole like. It's just like why is he a fucking god right now? Like it doesn't make sense, and it's just the fact that they didn't have no balance and no growth with the whole overall of the power scales. Mm-hmm. So you can't really invest in the characters. But then you're like, yo, why is this girl just dying like getting beat up like this when she's technically, to me, she was one of the better characters out of everybody. And it's just stupid that her ass couldn't just sword chop somebody. She didn't even need the sword at all. So
I agree. I'm gonna tag on to you. I agree. That show went so stupid so fast. And I remember the first episode was hype. Everyone was like, "Yo, this show is crazy!" Like, yo, they mocap everything. It's ridiculous. Look at this, bro. This is the new show. This is it.
I was one of them.
And I think it's that same episode when she was like, "I don't even need my sword. I can use my hands." And she started just like scissor handing everybody. I'm like, "Yeah, no, we're not doing this right now." They did not lose a fight. Everybody else had powers or something, demons and everything. They were like, "Nope, we don't need them. We don't need our demons. We can just use our hands and shit. It's okay." I think the episode that really got me was when they trapped Jin in the warehouse. They like blew him up. He took no damage. He beat the dude's ass and then somehow teleported back to the ring and that match too. I'm like, yo, what is this? What is this OP ass dude?
What you didn't know. One of the most embarrassing moments of my very unlucrative YouTube career is making a video after the first episode of fucking God of High School talking about how I think this could be the next big thing in anime. I was confident, bro.
It could have. Based upon the first episode, but like
it started off real strong.
It just took a devastating turn. Like it just was on that going towards the cliff and it just died right off. Got no fucks. They didn't even have a parachute.
But like I think the thing that really gets me about that show is they didn't even attempt to really like build any character. It was just like this happens because that happens because this happens because that happens. It was so stupid. Like no, I think Beyond you look, he might have won this whole thing.
Hold on. And the other moment too, Doombot pointed out to me was the fact that everybody in the audience could not see the fucking Cherokees, the demon creature spirit things. Mm-hmm. And then and you're like, how are you not seeing these things? Like everybody else could see them, like the people they're going against, but the audience can't see it. So like it was confusing because I'm like, how you know he did an awesome move and the audience just sitting there like, oh, he beat him up. He didn't even touch him. Like his whole creature spirit thing touched him. Like
Sugoi. Like how's he beating him up?
I'm so confused. That show was a letdown. I'm sorry,
bro. That's. I got a video coming up here pretty soon about biggest disappointments in anime, and that's gonna have to be on there for sure.
Yeah, you have to make an apology video there.
I'll make another one. I made that one for Black Clover. People were like, "Yeah, Black Clover was good." I'm like, "You win. All right, it's not bad. I admit." Okay, but I wanna hear from our last and our best person here, McAllister account. Tell us. I'm ready for this.
I don't know about best, but
yeah.
I have to say, dumbest, we're going to go back to Sakura trying to get Sasuke by herself. Because why?
They got TV out of me, but that was hilarious. Keep going.
Yeah. Obviously, she's not going to win. She wanted to, and then I guess before she was like, Naruto, I love you. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, what's happening right now?
Just
It
switch
just
back.
it didn't make any sense. And even Naruto, who was like fucking head over heels for it, was like,
Nope.
what the fuck? Like what?
I just want to add that at that point, to her understanding, she was going her plan to defeat Sasuke, who she believes has now killed Deidara, Orochimaru, and Itachi, was to stab him with a kunai that had poison on it. When's the last fucking time that has done anything in this damn show? And that was her answer?
Yep.
Who the hell was even poisoned in Naruto? Now that I think about
Didn't
it,
like the first time they set foot out the village, they got hit by like 2 assassins back in like Naruto.
that was like
Yeah.
episode 12, bro.
Exactly. That was her tactic. She tried to go back to like we was kids. This happened to us. I'm gonna try to do it now.
Dara's brother got hit by that poison.
That's right. He did.
whatever the
True.
fuck
All
that
right,
was.
never mind. I take that back.
He was pretty messed up, but they were like, you know what? Here, this. And then I want to do another one, just One Punch Man. Every single one of those like F-class heroes or whatever you want to call them. Like the dude dressed up as a fucking pineapple and was like, I'm a hero. Like, no.
I love those heroes.
And then they showed up
I
against the
love those
goddamn
heroes.
the King Monster thing, and he just smoked them all. I was like, that was
She dressed
why?
like a pineapple.
Like, why are you there? Like, just go home, dude.
Everyone likes the
Hide like everyone else.
everyone loves the dude on a bicycle, and I just think he's hilarious. I can't take him serious. They're always just
Exactly.
like,
So much.
It's so dumb, but at the same time, you're like, that's actually funny as hell.
Who's the dude in a jumpsuit? They showed in like season 2. He was like just a dude in a jumpsuit.
With the green jumpsuit?
Yeah, he had the green
Yeah.
jumpsuit. That's all he
Oh,
had.
man.
I think King is that King?
No, it's not King.
I don't
It's,
think he was important. He was just like a side character. He was just
His
Okay.
name was Glasses. That was his name was Glasses.
Oh my
I kept thinking like, because it was like Death Gatling and like some
Yeah.
stinger guy, all the others with these not cool, but at least gimmicks that had weapons or powers. And I kept thinking they're gonna, he's about to do something cool. Nope, he just jogs kind of consistently and got beat the fuck up. He had no special powers and was out there looking like a damn fool.
Oh my fucking god, bro! I
That's
can't,
literally half of those like C-class heroes, though. They're just,
Just why try, man?
bro.
Why?
They're-
hey, just go home. Don't do it.
Damn, they're so funny. I'm sorry, they're absolutely hilarious. like I don't take them serious at all. But whenever they have like a fight and they get beat, I'm just like, bro, why did you do this? Like, why did you sign up for this shit?
Man, if you
Like-
don't put on a red t-shirt and take your ass to Target and get your ass out these streets, man.
It's like I'm like I don't understand why I don't become like a police officer or something. You know, at least get a
At least
gun.
get a gun. Get something.
The fucking Moomin Rider dude is just out there with his bike. Like I'm like, bro, what are you doing? It's like, sit down.
DJC, in his defense, any other person, do you remember the move where he skidded in the rain, jumped off, and threw the bike at him? Any other
Alright.
person, that might mess you up. Any other person, that's at least gonna give you a cut.
What are you saying?
I
So
don't
what?
know.
He's like, oh my god, bro, stop. He's got all those nice suits and he's just used to it. I'm like, imagine how much better he'd be though with a police bike.
Yeah.
Police
there you
bikes
go.
more elite than like normal bikes. His bike was pretty expensive.
He goes a little faster.
Listen, man, doesn't he have like a
Got bars
bell
on
too?
them motherfuckers.
Oh
Did
my
he?
god.
Doesn't his
hope he
bike have a
did.
bell?
From when, so you can alert somebody when getting his ass whooped.
I'm just
Wait,
saying.
why are we talking about him when it's like the whole tank top squad?
It's his
going
life
around?
alert.
Don't disrespect Tank Top Squad. They're top tier.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, bro. What the
You know what?
hell?
I'm circling back real quick. We were talking about this earlier. You reminded me beyond to like when people can't see like the monsters and high school.
Yeah.
I thought about how in Beyblade, regular people couldn't see the Bit Beast for like the first season. Like you had to be a blader for some reason. I remember this one girl was like, I can't see it. And I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean? It's like, just look at it. Just look at it. It's right there.
It's clear as day. I see it. Tiger, like, can't you see it?
Oh, just do it. This isn't a direct topic, but I do want to ask this real quick before we move on. What's like a random, and we'll touch on this later too in another episode, definitely for sure. What's like a cliche that happens a lot of time that just bothers you guys in anime? Because there's a couple that just really piss me off. Like I'll say it right now, the power of friendship always makes me upset.
That's number one.
That's number one for me. It doesn't make any sense. Fairy Tail, may he rest in peace, but DK Typical had a cupcake accident earlier today and couldn't make it. Usually in one of his favorite anime, Fairy Tail, there's an issue where the characters don't train at all. They just say, for my friends, and then they get like 20 times stronger for no good reason, which makes no fucking sense because that isn't how hard work and effort, that's not how that works, bro. That pisses me off so much. But you, Soup, tell me
For
something.
me, probably when the villain's introduced, they have this really cool technique and they spend 20 minutes explaining it and also tell you how to beat them and get surprised when they get beat. It makes no sense to me.
Bro, that is ridiculous.
It's like I have the ability to stop time, but only when I'm able to touch the wall. Oh no, he separated me from the wall. How did he know? Like that shit pisses me off so much. If you would just show up to the fight and not say a word, the show would be over in 2 episodes. There's so many shows like that.
5 minutes. What also gets me is like whenever I'm watching one of those shows and the villain like overwhelmingly has the ability to kill him, he's like, no, I'm gonna take my time. I'm like, why? Like, what benefit do you have to doing this? They're like, especially like I'll be watching a new anime I'm watching. There's 2 new anime I'm watching. They're spin-offs on the same show though. It's Cells at Work. And that now Cells at Work, the regular ones, Code Black, by the way, Cells at Work, Code Black is one of the darkest shows I've ever seen in my life. But regular Cells at Work, they have an issue sometimes where whatever like bacteria or germ they're fighting will have them dead to rights, and they'll just be like, like for like a minute and just giggle. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, if you don't fucking rip that blood cell's head off right now, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like you can win. It just gets irritating, man.
You just see in their defense, have you ever been like play fighting like a younger sibling or a younger cousin? How serious do you take it?
What do you
I
mean?
be bullshitting sometimes. All I need is that one lucky uppercut and it's over.
I'm playing to win, so.
McAllister just fully punting toddlers.
I'm picturing,
pretty much.
I'm picturing McAllister
Smash.
just curb stomping kids right now. Just like, you gotta learn at some point, Johnny. Just kicking the
She's
shit.
gonna learn today.
She challenged me.
I think it was RDC had a video of
Yep.
a video what it was like when like kids challenge older people in anime. And it's just like I thought about that, bro. That is a wild thing that we don't talk about. It's how like 10 and 11-year-olds in anime be getting the shit kicked out of them. Like even in Naruto, like we know they were all like 12 right now going on S-class missions, right?
That's all Hunter x Hunter. I'm sorry. That Gon is the most innocent looking little kid and gets his ass handed to him. They mess him up so bad. And he tries to get raped. But that's
From the way those kids, some of them kids is built in that show, they be bullying the adults. There's some character with white hair that's just been just dogging people.
Hello.
Oh, Killer.
Yep.
Killer. Yeah, that's my dude.
Oh my gosh, dude. I just can't. I can't sometimes when I see that. Cause especially like when I think about some of the shows, I'm like, damn, how fucked up is your world? You're like, all right, we need 12-year-olds to start pitching in on the war effort. Like that's
a
insane.
valid
To
point.
be fair, if a 12-year-old is walking towards my army with red eyes and a glowing katana, I am shooting. I don't care what age he is. I am unloading.
You just gotta think about the American wars they've been doing. Little kids come out here with AK-47 and start blasting.
No. Screw the AK. If he pulls out a samurai sword and the demon wings pop out his little back, I am unloading on him.
Listen,
You
man.
better
Why'd
hope
you
that
take the
works.
shot? You didn't see them
I
damn
got
wings?
one shot. I'm taking that shot.
You're a monster, bro. Good lord. But you have a good point. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't know. Imagine like being an adult ninja in like Naruto, and you're like, damn man, I'm strong now. I can whoop some ass. And then like 12-year-old Naruto goes demon mode and just wipes out your whole crew because he's upset because you kicked Sasuke's dumb ass. Like, you know how upset I would be, just like, wow. Did all this hard work, became an S-class ninja, and some dickhead in an orange suit's just gonna beat me up on like my 3,000th day of work. Fuck this kid.
I was close to retirement.
Bro, that's another cliche. That's the last cliche I'm gonna talk about. Whenever they say like, someone's gonna die, when they're like, yeah, so I'm a week from retirement, I can't.
You're like,
That's
you
always
spelled
funny.
that
I'm sorry.
That's
I'm sorry. That's always
yeah,
funny.
that's the end.
Oh my goodness. Oh
You're
my
like,
god.
so they're killing that guy off. Okay.
Imagine going into your first fight and you get a flashback. You know it's about to be over. You know it's about to be over.
Oh my goodness.
The next episode is titled Doombot TV. You know it's about to be over.
Why are we killing off Doom? But moving on, man. We just talked about death and whatnot. And on maybe more of a heavier topic here that is often debated is Batman and whether Batman should kill or not. We talked about it a little bit in a past episode. If you haven't heard, please go check that out. But gentlemen, do we think Batman should kill or not? Soup, I'm going to start with you. You're very educated.
Oh, thank you, sir. Well, in my opinion, there's two questions here. For at least when I'm looking at this, for me, is of course clearly should Batman kill and does Batman kill? Those are two different answers. Should Batman kill? No, he has a moral code. I think it's bullshit. It doesn't make any sense, but he has a moral code that he doesn't want to kill. He's too scared to go over the edge. I understand it. I don't agree. I think it's stupid. I get it. He should not do it in any movies, comics, any games where they're portraying him. They shouldn't. I feel like it's a key to his character. Now, does he? Oh, yes. You can't tell me one show where he did not debatably kill someone. I have played every single game in the Arkham Knight series, and let me tell you, I have grabbed at least 600 grown men by the groin and slammed them head first into concrete, expect them to get up like nothing happened. That man is dead.
Now
He is a Mortal Kombat character. Batman is a murderer, but he refuses to admit it.
All right. Powerful. Amazing. And insightful. Now, Doombot. I'm sorry, y'all. Doombot TV.
I think that covers everyone's answer. So
let's just end the pod.
So I'm gonna go with the answer of no. I don't think Batman should be killing people. Now, I think that he doesn't kill. He shouldn't kill because he's so close to it. And once he does start killing, it's going over the ledge. I think that every time we've seen a Batman who does kill, he becomes like one of the greatest terrors of the DC universe. You have like Batman Who Laughs, who's complete batshit and swipes out entire universes. You have I can't remember. It was like Batman Punisher fusion. They had walk around a little bit and was just taking out people left and right. I think that once he does kill, he's going to start just killing everybody, and that's become an issue. He's going to start killing heroes, killing villains, killing everybody. I think he's just so close to becoming a villain. That he's afraid to go over that edge. I think, like Soup said, one of my favorite scenes from Batman Arkham series, when he's interrogating a dude, pins him to the ground, and calls over the Batmobile and is about to run over his head. I am like, oh my God, Batman, chill. It's not just I'm gonna knock off the slip. This is like I'm going to watch you get run over by this car head first. It is. I don't think we want to see a Batman who kills. I think he knows that. The world knows that. So I think that's entirely why he just shouldn't kill. It goes too far.
I hear you, but you know what? And Soup, you alluded to this, and I already think he does. That's the thing. I already think he does. I mean, like, when you look at the way he handles people, even if he doesn't kill, he pretty much takes your capacity to live like a decent life away from you.
So took his dive.
So like Batman, if we're being real, I do like Batman, but in many iterations, Batman truly is just a psychotic character that's taking out his like inner workings on like criminals, and it just so happens to coincide with what like society needs, which is a hero. Batman isn't really, I would say, someone that truly cares about these people, or is like even a great symbol of justice, because he beats the living, shit out of these guys. And he pretty much killed most of them. I mean, let's keep it real. Like, I know this is a movie, but in the Batman Begins movie, I don't care what he says. He killed Ra's al Ghul.
Oh yeah,
it didn't make any sense. That I won't kill you. I'll let the train do it. No, you killed him. You purposefully left him there so that he would die. Like Batman, you committed murder. Okay,
is that killing?
It is killing.
He didn't kill him by his own hand. He didn't force the killing. He let him escape if he could, if he wanted to.
I never shot him. I never killed him.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, no. Here's my legal answer. No, it doesn't matter, because the thing, you don't have to actually put your hands on somebody to be like guilty of first degree murder. First degree murder is just premeditation. Batman knew ahead of time that he was.
You know who Batman is?
Yeah, Bruce Wayne. We all know who Bruce Wayne.
I mean, if there's a Batman out in the world now, would you try to go find him? Like, yeah, you committed murder.
Of course not. I wouldn't do that.
Okay, then. So let him nigga do what he gonna do.
That's what we got cops for. They'll figure it out.
Cops tracking Batman too. I'm not tracking down Batman.
How do I put this? Into perspective? I ain't going after Batman because Batman would beat the shit out of me. But I'm not saying that like Batman, I'm not saying Batman should be in jail. Like he really should if you think about the crimes. There's a lot of assault, batteries, and just murders that man's committed. All I'm saying is this: he is pretty unchecked in power. I find it ironic that like in like the Batman v Superman movies, he's like, we have to have a balance for Superman, and I'm like, no, we need a balance for you. Like he's good.
Crazy
like,
son of a bitch.
Like in his defense, if Superman Superman and Batman going crazy. Batman fuck a lot of shit up. But Superman, I don't know if you could just stop him.
Are you
All
gonna
right,
stop
I mean, we know what Crazy Superman is, and that's just Homelander from Boys.
True.
It's way worse than Homelander
I think
from
I think
Boys.
he's
would be way
Homelander is
worse.
a little bit weaker, but still, I got you. I see what you're saying.
I don't know. Okay, I'll give this because Homeland is a little more like self-centered, and I feel like a truly psychotic. You're right. I guess psychotic Superman that just goes around killing people. The world would end pretty much. I don't know who's beating him.
About 6 days.
Yeah, no, that's not
Nah,
going well.
I'd give it a day.
Really.
That's why you got Batman, bro.
Wonder
Yeah,
Woman
look-
could stop him.
That's
One
true.
will stop him, but if he's
Batman
not
would kill
holding
him.
back,
Batman just lift up his fucking tights and like, "What's up, girl?" And then she stopped instantly.
I'm just saying.
What is happening here?
I don't
we got-
know.
Yeah, we're off track. Looking at it from a trauma standpoint, I think it's interesting.
Well-
Interesting how I know you ever hear like the old theory that like Batman's secretly in an insane asylum and like he's imagining all these things, et cetera, et cetera. I think looking at it from like a trauma standpoint, how like his bullshit rule that if he kills one, he's gonna keep killing. Like when you get emotionally traumatized when you're a child, you stop growing at that age.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think it would make sense, actually, now I'm thinking about it, that he wouldn't have any self-control because children have terrible self-control. It would make sense. I used to not believe, but now I'm thinking it makes sense. He's emotionally still a child. Think about how he's solving his trauma right now. It would make sense that he couldn't stop killing. So I used to disagree with his rule. Now I'm starting to think it makes sense for him, actually. Now I'm starting to switch sides.
It would make sense if he actually like followed through on it, and because like here's my thing.
Mm,
Just because you're not killing people doesn't also mean you're doing the right thing.
true.
Because like if you making everybody a paraplegic, I mean hell, that might be worse low key if you ask me. I'm sorry, I want my limbs. Like that must be suck. Like if everyone's a freaking vegetable after you encounter with them, like
Don't commit crime.
boy, I'm just saying, man.
I mean, back in the day, you stole, they cut your hand off.
I mean,
and
Batman's not going
we're
to
stealing
Macy's and
again.
just laying waste to any old woman in like brawl section.
Yeah, but like
Jesus.
sometimes they're like petty criminals. If Batman's like, oh okay, boom, boom, pow, pow. You see
There are
all,
no
like,
petty criminals in Gotham. We gotta be real.
Come
here.
on, that's crazy.
There's
Like,
no petty
There
criminals.
has to be
in
some
Gotham.
ground level.
No, there's
Is
a ground
there?
level.
There's
Is there?
someone selling weed right now on the corner of 69th and Gotham that's about to get roundhouse kicked to the death.
Don't be selling
I was
weed,
gonna
man.
say,
It's still
some
crime.
random dude that stole a pack of gum from the convenience store. Batman
Right
just
down the
happened to be
street.
around the corner.
Mhm.
Listen, you
Ended his whole career.
deal with the killer clown all the time, and you see how much mercy you be showing people. I think it's anger out somewhere, man. You only put a joker in the hospital so many
Not some
times.
poor kid that stole some gum.
Hey, little Billy will get punched in the chest and grow a bit stronger from it. All right.
Bro, I will never forget in freaking The Dark Knight where he dropped that one mobster from like 4 stories up, and I was like, you didn't need to do that, Batman. You didn't need to do that. Like Batman, come on now. You're supposed to be the greatest detective in the world. You should know the answer already. Like, come on,
Well-
God damn it.
Well, if you think about the Thomas Wayne Batman, he actually does kill. He carries guns, he carries swords, all that. He actually kills, and he doesn't care. And he's more ruthless than the actual Bruce Wayne Batman. And then Flashpoint, he actually stabs a fucking sword through the Reverse Flash, and he's actually willing to kill. And so, in a sense, you can see what the Batman actually killing in the comics would look like, in a sense.
Mhm.
And since it's another universe, in a sense, Thomas essentially he threw Yo-Yo, which is basically the Harley Quinn version for Bruce's storyline, and he actually throws her off the roof, gives no fucks, and she only lives because Cyborg was there and catches her.
Hell yeah.
So essentially, you can see how like the trauma would work and affect somebody differently in the fact that they would actually start to kill based upon what Soup was saying. Because he sees his family die, and now he's like, well, I don't want this to happen to nobody else. I lost all sense of feeling, so why should I care about anybody else? Because they want to commit crime, and they end up taking people that other people love away. So, hey, I'm gonna stop crime. If you don't want to die or get severely injured, don't do it. I'm gonna beat you up for it. So, I mean, you got a sense of it, like, because if you think about our day today, now you got like cops. If you doing something wrong and you want to swing at a cop, the cop gonna swing back at you. Just you better hope you got one of the good cops that willing to throw fists with you and not throw bullets at you. So I mean, it's a lot you gotta see, and like in reference to what you said with Batman Beyond, he does end up killing. He burns down that village because he doesn't want to kill the prisoner.
Mm-hmm.
He rather not kill that innocent prisoner, but he did end up killing members of the league. So I mean, in a reference, he kills but not kills on purpose. It's more of that shit. I'm sorry you're there at that moment.
Collateral damage.
Yeah, collateral damage. That's literally all Batman has is collateral damage.
Okay. So is that so then I'm just some like clarification here. Which side of the fence are you on? Are you on the he should or he shouldn't?
I feel like he shouldn't.
Okay.
Because it allows the readers to know like he has some form of moral code.
Mm-hmm.
And if he doesn't have a form of moral code, it changes how you view him completely. Now he becomes more of like an anti-hero instead of a hero in people's eyes. And it really goes based upon how you got to understand DC Comics are supposed to be more brutal and more gruesome versus Marvel Comics. So you have those characters. And the only gruesome character you really have that's in Marvel is really Punisher. Punisher doesn't care about breaking. He'll break some bones, and Punisher went out, did the same thing like Batman could do. He can kill the whole Marvel universe if he wanted to.
Yeah, let me ask you, if Batman has such a high moral code, why the hell he piped Batgirl on the roof? You tell me that, all right?
First off, that's not canon. That was some basement nerd when they let out of his cage. He need to stay in that cage, all right? That should have never happened.
Hey man, that's just sexual tension. That is not
No.
No, that was fan fiction turned film. No, that was fan fiction. Man, I don't care what you say. I don't know who put that in the movie and approved it, but Batman needs to handle them, right?
Dick Grayson said I left fucking gone. That's the fuck problem.
Someone left that animator unsupervised in the studio and pushed that shit right under the radar.
He spent all night drawing up that whole scene and just approved it. Gave no fucks. Didn't even get to prove it.
He didn't do nothing else. He was just like, my masterpiece is done. He just gave up.
Barbara became a woman that night.
Oh my God. All right. Moving on. I want to know about Barbara Gordon getting deflowered. So McAllister account. Where do you fall on this one? Yay or nay?
I would say no, but to pretty much everyone's point here, there's no way people did not die from those fights. That's all there is to it.
Human body resilient, man.
There's no way. There's no way.
It is low key crazy how Batman's just like, I've never killed. I'm like, bro, come on now. That if you think about it, that is almost kind of more psychotic of him to think that he really hasn't killed anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Or to have
officially, I don't think he has killed anybody.
That's the thing, officially. But like, I don't
Superman
think
probably killed somebody too, though.
Definitely.
Superman's killed.
He has no qualms about it.
100 people.
Yeah.
Dude just drops entire cities in his fights all the time.
It's not his fault. It's those damn aliens' fault for always trying to come fight him. You know?
Well, yeah.
But
the cities just happen to get destroyed.
That's a big difference between Batman and Superman. Because I feel like people seek out Superman, so I'm more or less not as inclined to be like upset at Superman for fighting. Because what the fuck is he gonna do when you're fighting like another demigod character like freaking General Zod? But like for Batman, it almost feels like Batman, like he seeks out the challenges in a way, and he kind of makes them worse. Like I feel like he can personally up the body counts on his own because he definitely has a choice. He has the ability to just incapacitate you without crippling you for the rest of your life. But he always chooses to beat the living shit out of a guy with like damn near like a crowbar. So,
well, like what about Joker? Like, what would you?
I feel like Joker is such a joke. Yeah, Joker. I feel like Joker needs to go because my thing is. I was looking back, I was like, bro, at a certain point, and I don't believe in like just killing anybody in general, but like at a certain point, this guy is such a threat to society, and he keeps getting out of Arkham. Like, come on, man. Like,
but the thing is, like, no one ever really talks about it. Batman has like one of the darkest rogues gallery out there. All of his villains are essentially just all serial killers.
Disgusting.
I mean, Mad Hatter, who like kidnaps girls and like dresses them up as Alice and does whatever. We're not gonna talk about that.
Was it Dr. Pig? Yeah.
Who like cuts up people and makes them his dolls or whatever. Riddler, who does God knows what. I don't care about him. I never cared about
He's
him.
probably a pedophile.
Two-Face is like a whole mobster who definitely kills people on the regular. Like all his villains are just serial killers.
Yeah.
So I mean, should you just kill them all?
So, but you gotta think about this. Why doesn't the city kill him?
They can't keep him in jail long enough to get a death sentence.
I was.
I mean, once you get
Trial
him
shit
in,
times.
once you sentence him, like just have that needle right there and just.
Have you
It
ever
takes
seen
a while though to send somebody to death. Even
That's not how it
It
works.
takes
I
a
was about to
long time.
I was about to say,
like decades almost. Like,
Those people in the 80s still ain't dead. I'm gonna send y'all a Key and Peele sketch about what the guards in Arkham are like. I don't know if any of you've seen it.
I know
You
exactly
know
what
what
you're
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what a guy, he's like, you gotta let me out innocent. Oh yeah, you are? All right, my bad, man. And just opens the cell and lets him out. That's the fucking guards they got running Arkham. Like, this is, they gotta die. I'm sorry.
I mean, you think about it. Joker pulled his sidekick from Arkham, man.
Joker,
Pulled a baddie.
he pulled a baddie. No one getting him credit for it. He had some game on him.
Joker found love. I mean, listen, literally, Batman's problems would be solved if they let him just design a prison. If he was
That
able
is
to house a
very
prison,
accurate statement.
if he could just, if they were like, all right, Batman, we're gonna let you just build a prison and just because they wouldn't get out, he'd have the perfect scenario for all of them. Because I
probably
mean,
not wrong. It's actually a really good idea. I don't know why they haven't.
That's a good ass idea.
it's a great idea. Because I mean, listen, at this point, you let him handle all the crime anyway. Clearly, you're all inept. I mean, I'm just saying, if the same character, like if you're all getting out like several times, and for example, somebody like the freaking Joker who does not even super powered, if he can't get out, well, what the hell? Especially when you got Amanda Waller's ass running around that knows how to put freaking villains under control, use them as a weapon, but you can't stop the same like
She puts
the
a
real
bomb
big
in their
one.
neck.
I know, but she seemingly can't stop the real big ones, the real dangerous ones. She can get
The
like
crazy
B-level
clown.
ones. Exactly. A psychotic Bojangles. Like, come on now. Like it's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But before we pop out of here, anybody else got anything else to say before we leave? Any other thoughts, concerns, questions, criticisms, moments, things that make you feel?
Say Batman is the greatest superhero of all time.
We're not gonna say that, but
Batman is
He
responsible
is.
for every single person Joker's killed. Batman responsible for.
Read
I'm
Joker War. Read
more
Joker
upset
War.
that my bad. You
That's
good,
all I'm
Doom?
saying.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Daddy. It's all you.
I'm more upset that the Flash even loses a single fight, but that's a whole nother topic for another
that
day.
is actually
That's a valid
really
ass
good point.
point.
That's a
Shouldn't-
great
he
point.
shouldn't
I guess
have.
he has to know what's happening. Is this super speed activated or is it always on?
It's always on.
So how does
Doesn't
he
it-
get touched ever?
Doesn't he think at like a superhuman speed?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
he has to, right?
Everything he does is super speed.
So how is he not the greatest human of all? I mean, the greatest superhero. Of
I
all
mean,
time?
I get
That's
you have to
what,
make
like-
him lose at some point, but he's so overpowered when you think about it. It's,
But like he could literally just stop time and show up at the crime scene as soon as it starts, put handcuffs on the person and leave, and no one will even know.
You could snipe him,
Well-
and the fastest he thinks, he
Exact-
could feel the bullet touching his head, turn around, and move out the way of it.
I was
As
just
fast
thinking
as he
that.
can think.
I
Exactly.
know the only way you'd be able to stop him is you're like a one of those villains that like transcends like time, like Darkseid, where you're just
Yeah,
like and that
No,
wouldn't
you
that
just
have
gotta
to
be
be
a
like
speedster. You just gotta be another speedster.
or be no
Yeah.
speedster.
true, but like pretty much you pretty much have to be like cosmic level because I
It
mean
has to be, right?
or you
you
should
even
be.
kill him.
If I can live in any city, I'm living in Flash City.
It's-
Me personally.
I mean,
Flash
shit
has the
still
dumbest
happens.
villains ever. I'm sorry, I can't stand his villains.
Exactly.
I
What
know.
you don't want to hang out with the good ones
The
are.
most 90s fucking villains ever.
I'm just saying, it's
What?
all
Mirror
yeah,
Man and Boomerang.
Mirror Master, Captain Boomerang, Gorilla
prankster?
Oh god.
Captain Boomerang is still one of the dumbest names for a villain I've ever
I
heard.
already said you get hit with the jaw with a metal ass boomerang.
Yeah, how
No,
stupid
but-
that sounds. That still sounds
That's
dumb as hell.
65
The
miles per
dumbest
hour.
thing is he
That's
shows
a
up
lot
at like
more.
a crime scene and slips on an ice cube. Like, why? What? How?
Oh my gosh.
Captain Code. Oh my god.
I mean, he can't look everywhere at once. He only can look forward.
Fair enough. But it's all fun and games. So you get freaking you get A-trained like the boys. Your girlfriend gets A-trained,
Oh,
disintegrated by Flash when he's
Yeah.
running somewhere.
I'll take it. I will take it. That's an instant death. Rather getting kidnapped by Professor Pig in Gotham on a Tuesday. I'll take it.
Hey, fair enough, fair enough. And I also like to thank Doombot there for contributing and giving us the starting topic for next week's video. Who is the greatest comic book character of all time? We definitely have to speak on that. But, gentlemen, we're
Going
over our
picks.
time again. We had a banger of an episode today. I want to thank all the boys here for coming in and joining. We love doing this. We love you people. Next week, fans, all 8 of you, We're going to be uploading
Oh, yeah.
next week. We're going to be uploading our rankings for My Heroes openings. All of them ranked from worst to best. Thank you guys for your support on the Attack on Titan video. It's been truly wonderful. Our links are down in the description. Please like, share, subscribe, give a comment. We are the Off Rangers, and we'll see you later. Peace.
My name's Jeff.